Are the lights okay for you? I mean,
who knows? I can't.
you can't see that. We did it bigger. Okay, doesn't matter.
How about if I move it up higher?
No, you're good.
No,
You're good.
your lights are fine.
You're
He's
good.
got this.
I'm talking about her. She's high maintenance, Mel.
Whatever.
Oh.
She
I
is.
remember you telling me about that, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep what we.
You'll just wait until the end. You'll understand.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. How do I want to start this?
Oh, Scott.
Welcome, everybody, to Raising an Archer. And we have we have a pretty good show coming
Yeah,
up.
I
think
would say so.
We are sitting in the middle of our showroom here at Texas Archery, and we have Mel Nichols, the Mel Nichols,
Yes,
on the show with
absolutely.
us. We're really excited about him being on with us. And
Who are we?
We're nobody. We are Raising an Archer.
Okay, you said that part, but what's your name?
My name is, see, now you've ruined the whole intro. I got to start again. Nope, we're going with it. So, hey, this is Scott and
Wendi.
and we're here with Mel Nichols.
Yes, the Mel Nichols.
So, Mel.
Well, thank you guys for having me on. It's I love watching you guys. I watch them whether it's tournaments or when you're talking to people or anybody, and I hope a lot of people will tune in and maybe learn a little bit or something.
Yeah,
Or
Mel
have a
is,
fun or joke, or they can laugh at me later.
that's right. That's
It's
right.
all-
Yeah, Mel's one of the ones that will. He responds like he's always like, "Hey, I'm at the
Yes.
airport checking you guys out. How much longer you're gonna be?"
So whenever people have heard me saying, "Hey, Mel, how's it going?" This is Mel. This is Mel Nichols.
Yes. So, Mel, thank you for joining us. There's a few things that we wanted to talk about. One of them, I think, is a little different than what we normally talk about. Is how do we help coaches out there?
Because you are a coach,
Yeah.
an archery coach.
Yeah.
The one thing
One
that
of the top archery coaches.
Yeah. And when we talk about, normally when we have these we're saying, how do we improve our youth? How do we get them to that next level? But I think that having the opportunity to have somebody like you on our show, let's talk more about helping our coaches out there at every level on and what is it? What am I thinking? What I'm trying to say here? What is it that there's some things that you can give us that will help them progress their career as a coach, even if it's a volunteer?
Do more. What I feel is very important is when you're coaching an archer, you physically watch him, you see him shoot, and you can see where the arrows hit. Well, to me, I never really care where the arrows hit. I care about what they're doing, how their body is, their muscles are moving. I watch more muscles on archers or shirt vibration or anything than I do really. And I honestly don't care where their arrows hit, because we're going to get their form better. And once they take care of all their process, that's going to be good. So sometimes it's about opening up, getting outside the box, looking at something different. We're not trying to make a cookie cutter everyone's not going to look like Brady or Casey or these top shooters. We can do it in a biomechanical way that will help out each archer to achieve their highest potential.
Yeah, Mel takes it to another level. I walk up, everybody's kind of just sitting back and kind of watching. Mel's got like this, all this technology, these cameras like on his archers, and they are analyzing every shot, it looked like. I mean, tell me about that. I know I didn't want to jump into it, but now I want to jump into it.
We do. We analyze a lot, especially at the big events. We analyze it a lot. I'm also running notes on my phone. Luckily, we have smartphones now, because I used to handwrite it. Now it goes straight to the web, so I handwrite different notes. We plot arrows too, so we know what's going on. We plot for when we're training. So what you saw there was probably a video. There's one camera on the shooter and one camera on the target. We can see exactly what shot's going on, know what they're doing, and where the arrow hit. If we had a problem, we go back, look at it, fix it that evening, talk about it, be ready to roll the next day.
Was it live? Did you have that live too?
I have it live to certain members of Team Pineapple that we have, and that's mainly family.
Okay, just so that they can
Family
be a part
and
of
a couple of our shooters here in Arizona.
Okay, I was just curious if it was if anybody else was watching to help you analyze, or is it
No,
just that was?
I like to watch it when we're done too. So because I've watched it, obviously it was trials, and I've watched it about 3 or 4 times, broke it down, and honestly, throughout that whole time, we had 3 shots that needed work. The rest, we were knocking an arrow and going for another 10.
See,
Wow.
what's interesting about that is that, I came from the basketball world, and our coaches did the exact same thing, which I don't think we do as normally in the archery community that we do that. Like basketball, like even my daughter's volleyball coach, he would watch the other team and watch everything that happens, and he would analyze it all and then give reports to his team of exactly how they performed and as volleyball players, how they performed. This is pretty cool.
And my athletes, even here, when you come here to my center here, it's real small. It's in the back of our acres. But we have big 55-inch screen TVs that are on the target, but we also have TVs off to the side that are on video delay. So we're watching specific spots or parts of the archer's shot to break that down so they can see it also real time. As soon as they shoot, they can look up there, work on it, fix it, and we're still recording it so we can break it down later so they can look and know it and get a good feeling, because they're going to tell me, they're going to rate their shot, every shot, with a feeling of if they felt the muscles move, if they didn't feel it move, what happened, what didn't happen, what their mental frame was, how well they ran their mental management. So we go through every shot is a lot more than just shooting one arrow. It takes us a little bit.
Yeah, you mentioned mental management. How important is the mental management piece of it?
Mental management to me is the most important. We've been known Lanny for many, many, many years. We live life, our house, it was always live life with mental management we do it every day, every minute, every second. Because there's, people will you have good days and bad days. So ours is good days, learning days. You're going to learn.
I like that.
And that's just, it doesn't have to be on the archery field. It could be in life. It could be at school. It could be just driving to your shop. You could have somebody cut you off, and, that's a learning day, learning to keep your calm, learning how to have a response to it, not react to it. But mental management is my main push over everything.
And I've seen, we never, for my son, we never really got into the mental management until about a year and a half ago with Penny Heddletwit, and went through the program with her, and it was kind of game changing for him. I wish we had gotten him into it years and years ago. And how he documents and how he learns from every single practice. You mentioned it. We're always learning. He's documenting everything that happens in a positive way and trying to understand what was positive. Like you talked about, there were three shots that needed work. Well, he would analyze those and say, okay, tomorrow when I practice, this is what I'm going to do to try to eliminate those three that needed work. He was very deliberate in how he would practice.
Yeah. And we were talking about what coaches can do. Maybe reach out to other coaches, because you talk about Lee and Penny. They have been out here a couple times, and they've brought their kids out here, but they've come out here, and we did a coaching weekend. And I do that about twice a year out here. Some coach that want to come out there, and I will give them any knowledge I can, from equipment to mental to form, utilizing some of my shooters here to show them. And that's just a way to get better. Whether or not they use it, they may know some of it, great. If they don't know, great. If they learn anything, then I've done my job. I feel good, because I just want to help people. That's it. Coaches, archers, doesn't matter who.
Yeah, I love that. That's something that I think is important. Is that even here we tag team coaches. It's like we don't have one coach that's your coach and that's who you're gonna die on the mound with, or on the mountain with, or on the hill, or whatever they call it. But we have multiple coaches that do different things and are good at different areas, and we pull them in, even if they're outside, like Penny and Lee. We'll pull them in if we need to. We'll pull in other coaches. Right now, her daughter's working with another coach today, trying to figure out, let's just have a second set of eyes to take a look to see if there's something that's being missed.
Yes, that's great, because once you surround yourself with good people, it's never just one coach. It's a whole team. And it could be, for archery, it could be 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. It's a whole full team.
It
Once
is.
you do that,
It is, yeah.
then that means that some of the coaches need to keep egos out of the way. We've all seen it, and if they want it, we're here. We'll give it out. If they don't, then that's fine too.
So who is Brady?
Yeah, Brady. Obviously, if you don't know him, he's my stepson. So people always laugh. Go, how do you know? Well, you're just guessing what he does. And for a long time, I'm like, because I can walk down the hall 15 feet and turn left and pull him out of his room and find out what we're doing, how we're tuning our bows, and have a good time. Now he's got a great life going on with his wife and our our young little Ty, who's he's definitely a handful, and then we're expecting another one real soon. So life is going to change and we're going to have a lot more fun here pretty quick. So it's going to be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can tell you the grandpa thing's pretty cool, even though she makes fun of me. But it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not that old yet. So.
She's not that old yet. She is that old yet.
So you did get into archery. You're a coach, but how did you get into archery itself?
Well, I'm from Hawaii, and this Hawaiian boy does not like the cold. So I come here in Arizona and I'm fishing all summer with my friends, and in the winter, no one wants to go fishing with me. I'm like, why? They're going hunting. I'm like, let's go to the lake. So I'm on one lake one time by myself, and it's starting to snow, and I'm not catching one fish. And I'm pissed, and I'm freezing. Come home, and these guys are all just shooting their bows in the backyard. Back then, we were shooting at hay bales, balloons, paper plates. So they said, well, here, if you think it's so easy, you shoot it. Bare bow compound. Show me how to knock it. Aimed at paper plate. Hit a plate, hit a plate, hit a balloon, hit another balloon, handing them bows back and told them they all sucked. And then next thing I know, 2 weeks later, I buy a bow. Then I decide to put sights on it and got arrows and stabilizers and decide to put scope on it after a year. And next thing I know, I'm running a fully rigged target setup,
No way. I never would have dreamt that was the way that he entered
within just
archery.
a couple weeks, yeah.
Well, not just that, but shooting balloons and paper plates.
That's how we all start.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just
I guess
do whatever.
Julie was shooting at tennis ball, but
yeah, it doesn't have to be complicated. We don't have to shoot all the fancy stuff. Just shoot. Get out there and shoot.
And
when
did
you
you
start,
hear
just
how?
shoot.
Yeah, and he got more complicated and more complicated, or added more and more as he went. And so that's how we started. We probably didn't go as fast as he did, but that's how we were
Pretty
with
fast.
our kids.
Pretty fast.
And so that's what we kind of tell people is that you don't have to just jump right into everything, but then you can add on as you go. So that was very surprising to me. I don't know. I expected something totally different.
Earth shattering.
Yeah, that's it. When you've got that competitive blood inside of you, things go fast. And then like the backyard, you want to be a backyard world championship, you better learn how to do it fast. And
Yeah, you do.
that's what I was trying to do. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm going to beat you guys. That's for sure.
That's cool. I love that. Okay, I'm looking over here because I had other questions and you're just like hogging the iPad.
Sorry. You could have brought your own notepad.
Yes, I normally do, but then I just leave it somewhere. So, all right. Parents that are getting their kids into archery, or their kids, because like in my situation, my kiddo said, I want to do archery. And I'm like, no. Let's do something we know about. Let's do guns. No, I want to do archery. Okay, well, let's do horses. No, I want to do archery. Okay, well, let's just try robotics. No. Okay, well, maybe we'll even do cooking.
Why were you trying to get away from archery?
Because I knew nothing about it. I mean, I can cook, I can ride a horse, I can shoot guns, and robotics I didn't know anything about. But I was like, still kind of cool, right? So I knew nothing about it. So what would you tell a parent? How would you encourage parents that might be in that situation?
We tell a lot of parents to come and either go to an archery shop or go to one of the local clubs and get there. And especially if you don't know nothing about it, that's great, because a parent's job at that point of view is being a bank. That's it. Being a supportive bank and telling them that they love them.
He is not lying.
That's it. I mean, you go there and you support them. You just let them have fun, because, I mean, every kid's trying it. They're going to learn it. They're not trying to miss a target. So there's no reason to get on them. If they miss the target, hey, we'll get them more arrows.
Right.
So you just keep going and make sure they're having fun.
Bank and cheerleader.
Yep.
Bank and cheerleader. Well,
Evidently, I wasn't a really good. Yeah,
because you carry all that stuff
you
as a young
can't caddy
kid.
though in field. But
you got a caddy to get the stuff there.
But evidently, I was not a very good cheerleader. I was probably a pretty good bank, but a good cheerleader, because then you got me into doing other things to keep me away from my kid, I believe. But
True
Well,
story.
see, that's when when it gets built up more, when you get more into it, you have to know when to let go. We're not living life through the kids.
Yeah.
And if you do that, I mean, True Ball put a great poster out years ago about my wife talked about helicopter parenting and stuff like that, which is another story. But here's a true story about what you have to do. You have to be supportive, and at the end of the day, tell them you love them, how good they did. Don't even care if they miss the target every time. Just tell them how proud they are because they're having fun. So we go to Brady's first Olympic trials. Okay. So Julie and Brady fly to Georgia. I'm coming the next day. So, okay, so they land there. I have to call Julie up and go, hey, guess what? I just totaled out your car. Okay, I'm fine. What about the car? No, honey, I'm fine. So then I go to Georgia the next day. I go to Georgia, so now we've got a totaled out car here. We go to Georgia. We're shooting, and back then Brady was shooting a Matthews. You know, it was a brand new one. We knew we had some issues going on, so we started shooting. You know, it's his first one. People are telling him, hey, it takes 3, 4, 5, 6 years to just make your first Olympic team. We're trying to make number one. We're not just trying to make the team. We're trying to make. So we're shooting. And after the first day, I was lucky because my wife was like, what are you doing? Why are you talking to him so much? I'm talking to him every arrow. I'm giving him adjustments every arrow. And I'm like, oh my God, we come all the way over here and we're not even going to have a shot at it. So at that time, she was fairly new into it too. So we sent her 200 yards away to the girls' side of the field. So she didn't get to see her son shoot Olympic trials for the first, probably, I can't remember how many days it was, but after the first day, we saw her at the end of the day when we got back to the vehicle. We had some issues. We fixed it because she's like, why are we going to the hardware shop? I'm like, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Get ready. We'll go do dinner, get rest. We'll be back tomorrow. We had a rough first Olympic trials. Obviously, we made it. But then she learned a lot, which is very good because, you know, we all want the best. We don't want anything to happen bad. But sometimes you get really amped up. Parents will be, you know. So, yeah, I know. I've seen her, but that's another story. But,
She's not looking at me. She's looking at you. So
yeah.
She'll yell at me later when she watches.
No, but they'll, you know, because we always want the best. We want them going. And sometimes you get so amped up that, like, well, why didn't they shoot a 10? You come back and you ask them, why'd you miss the 8 or why'd you miss the yellow? That's not the question to ask. The question to ask is, do you need water? Do you need food? Are you doing okay?
See? That's exactly what I tell Wendi.
And lots of times if you ask it too much, they're going to get mad.
Yeah.
So,
Stop.
So here's a better way to ask it if you're doing a mental management way. You're just like, hey, just so you know, I have water, I have fruits, and I have snacks back here whenever you need it. That's the key.
Yeah.
One of my jobs as a coach is I give parents that may need to be moved away jobs. And
here I sit while my daughter's being coached on another range.
Some parents need more jobs than others.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and for me, like when they're here, I'm not afraid to put a parent in timeout.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that.
I have. There's been parents they'll be in cars and stuff.
Going through the mental management, I did learn that, and I couldn't figure out, and I don't know that I truly understand, but when Julia would come back and I could see she was frustrated. Well, my thing is, as a mom, I want to fix it. I want to fix whatever's going wrong. Do I need to get different equipment? Do I need to, are you hurt? Are you injured? What? I can't stop the wind when we're outdoors, but I want to fix it, whatever it is. And so I used to, until we got into middle management, I would ask Julia, what happened? What happened? And that would make her so mad. What do you mean? That means my shot was bad. I was like, well, you're coming back frustrated, so I know that something wasn't right. I don't know what it was, but so how can I help? How can I fix it? What can I do? And
so what do you do now?
I don't do anything.
Yeah,
I was like,
hey, do you need something to eat? You need something to drink?
Oh yeah. Now I sit back and I'm like,
walk away.
Walk away. That is right.
Walk away.
Walk away. Okay.
Because I guarantee you, the kids are trying to do their best. You know why the kids turn around lots of times? They want to see you there. They want to see you smiling. They don't want you telling them what they're doing wrong. So sometimes we have to walk away, or sometimes we have to go, just,
Yeah.
He just smiles. Yeah, good job. Good job.
but walk away if you need to. Don't be afraid. I mean, because they're out there and they're going to have fun with their friends. There's still a lot of friends on the line there. They're having fun.
Yeah.
You know? So that's it. If they need something, I promise you, they will come back and ask you.
Yeah, Carson's pretty good with Julia too. She'll, even though the age difference is huge, she'll talk to her and
It's not as huge as you think.
well, Julia's 15.
What is she, 18, 19?
I
18.
yeah.
See, 18. So there's not that
That, I
big a
guess,
difference.
is
And she's
three.
about to
I
turn
guess-
16.
Yeah, well, I guess I think high school, college, Julia's just a sophomore in high school.
The big thing is because of the college. That's why
yeah.
everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I appreciate these older archers. Like Liko is top notch as she is. Will always take time for Julia and talk to Julia and everything. So yeah, they do have those friends out there that is amazing. We've talked about that in the archery community, that it's more like a family. One of the archers in Montana just sent a Christmas package to Julia. It's an awesome thing to see. So yeah, they do have their friends, and I like. A lot of times whenever we're at USATs, I don't get to really watch Julia. And so whenever I do step over, I get to see that friendship. And I've done so much better this past year that I stay back and I really don't want to even be seen. Matter of fact, one time you were on the phone with me and I had just gotten done with my field and you said, you were texting me. She's going into the finals, and I think you were like, she's going into the gold medal match, and I'm like, what? But I don't want to mess up her mojo. I don't want to go over there and her see me, and then and I was worried about making her tense. Oh, great!
Yeah.
Now my mom's watching, so I'm trying to balance that, and I don't know how to balance that as a parent.
And that's the hard part. It is the balancing. That's a really good point, because just have to come in, act like you're at home, act like you're doing nothing. Don't push anything on them. Obviously, food or drinks. Don't ask them what they're doing wrong.
She already had it under control since you hadn't been with her for the
Yeah.
entire thing. So
Yeah.
you just had to go and watch.
So I did. I even stayed back behind the fence. That was Gator Cup, and I stayed behind the white picket fence. I didn't even go in the archer area, even though I could have, but I just stayed back. And Ryan was like,
Yeah.
I'll stay where I am.
Well, for me, I stay back behind the fence a lot, even though I always get the coaching credentials. I stay back a lot. The only reason I want to have the credentials is if my archer has a problem, I want to be able to go up there and not get in trouble.
Right.
But I will be back there if they need to come back, and unless something really drastic happens, that's why you'll see me up in there. I will be by my coaching credentials again all year. I'm staying behind back. I want to train them. We train pretty hard here, and when we're everywhere else. So when we go there, I want them to relax and have fun, and know we're going to go ice cream as soon as we're done. That's the main keys. Nothing else. When we're there, I'm not trying to change anything while we're there, because they're already getting freaked out, because now they've got a lot of friends there. People are watching them. They're like, well, I have to do this. I have to impress my parents, or I have to shoot good. They're spending a lot of money. Just have fun.
And they're setting
Train
those
hard.
they're
so you
setting
can go
those
there and just
expectations.
cruise.
Yeah, they're setting those expectations in their head, I guess.
Yeah.
I try to
So we don't want to cause them anything else extra.
So I try to tell my kids, because I have a USA swimmer and then Julia shoots, and I try to tell both of them before they even go and compete. I try to say, I'm proud of you already. I don't even care. You haven't even done one thing today, but I love you and I'm proud of you no matter what. Because I don't want to put that pressure on them. And, I don't want to say I'm proud of you after the fact.
I think what I do is I just say, Ryan, don't embarrass me.
Oh, my word.
No, I'm teasing.
And I'm the ice cream person. I am the ice cream person.
She is.
You're like, no, sprinkles are for winners. And I'm like, no. I was in Ohio,
Sprinkles
and I had
are for winners, Mel.
I had Ryan with me.
She can have ice cream.
I had Ryan with me, Ryan and Julia, and you called and you're like, what are y'all doing? And said, well, we're going for ice cream. No, y'all, no ice cream. And I'm like, hold on. These guys are done for the weekend.
No. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, these guys are done for the weekend. They can go ahead and have ice cream because Julie is lactose intolerant, and so. But I mean, a little mini ice cream is
So
fine.
of course I'm going to say no when she's shooting
Yeah.
and,
But-
and eating ice cream.
It's done. So I was like, they are done. They can have ice cream now. Leave me alone while I take the kids for ice cream. So I
So
do like.
if you watch us, we do it a little differently. We get done shooting, we go straight to ice cream, then we go have dinner.
There you go. I like
Hey,
that
I'm
idea.
I'm all about that.
See,
I'm gonna do that because
Straight down
Mel
there.
Nichols said.
I think so. I know my dad when my dad, he came to my mom and dad came to visit us, and we all go out to dinner. And my kids are a little older at this point, and so we order a meal, and we get to my dad, and he's like, "I'll take the banana split." And I'm like, he's not getting the banana. He's like, "Yeah, I am. I'm gonna have dessert first.
I could have been
then
great
I'll eat
friends with your
something later."
dad.
Yeah, and then I'll eat something later. So that kind of falls right in line. You
Yeah.
know, and that's
Yeah.
that's honoring my dad.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, I think that's
Now you
good.
got to get on board.
I am on board.
All right. So the parent side of it, and then I'm still amazed by how he got into archery. Just totally did not expect that.
He got into it because he wanted to whoop up on his friends.
Right, but I don't know. I just did not expect shooting paper
Balloons.
plates and balloons. All right.
I'm kind of old. I'm not going to lie.
No, but I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is that I see you as such a professional, and we have kids that will shoot balloons for shoots, candy shoots, and different things like that. Just for fun shoots. And
They're fun.
Yeah, well, I know, and he was
You have to
competitive.
keep archery fun. You don't
Yeah,
keep
well,
archery fun no matter what you're doing.
So how do you do that at your place?
We have different events. We have floating ping pongs that we fly up that are under black lights. We do a lot of different things too.
That's cool. We might have to try that.
I do like the idea of black lights.
Right?
We'll send you a video afterward. You guys can watch it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, because that was something, again, the professional side, and so not thinking about the fun side. And we have talked multiple times that archery has to be fun. If it's not fun, kids aren't going to want to do it. And so I think the adults here like it. Like right now, is there a league shoot over, adult league shoot going on in the other room? So again, keeping it fun and competitive with those guys. But
Well, we'll train here. We train here about 4 to 5 hours each person. Most of them, my normal ones, are here 4 to 5 hours. After that, we're going to have fun doing something else.
so what is
we're not
it?
You
Kind
have
of
to.
beat this into
You have
them.
to.
So a typical training session, 4 to 5 hours, and then some fun time, and that's all
Yeah.
in one day.
First off, 10 or 15 minutes of stretching, just warming up, getting
Mm-hmm.
in there, then going after it, whatever we have to do,
Okay.
whatever we're trying to accomplish for what events we have coming on. Summertime, if it's 110, we could get done training after 4 or 5 hours, and then they'll do an ice bath or something. They don't like it, but they do.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
wouldn't like that either.
yeah, but it helps us being able to train as much as we do and as hard as we do. You have to do something for recovery.
Okay.
We have a lot of cold rush machines. We do ice baths. We
What's
recover
a cold?
quite a bit.
What was that? What kind of machine?
We have cold rush. We can put pads on. They're big pads. We'll strap them on. This machine will pump cold water through there, so it's under compression, and it's cold water. So we'll do 20 on, 20 off, 20 on. So that's another hour there of recovery. Different, we have a lot of different ways we have to do it. And then like big events like the Arizona Cup, when we come in here, luckily last year, friend Preston, who's one of the trainers and he's been with USA, he was in doing stuff for the USA Archery's Paralympic ranking or whatever. I can't remember what they call it. But then he stayed here, and I mean, I watched him work on Khrushchev, Mikey Slusher. He worked on a bunch of many of our guys that needed help here. He was here before he had to leave. So we'll bring in trainers for big events. I will have trainers here. We'll have everything we need. And we're such a small little area, but we have everything we need here.
That's
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that before.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it legit. I mean, they train like professional athletes, and that's I think
And
that's
here, if Julia gets sore, I bring ice packs, and then it's I think it's a back thing. So it's got the band that goes around, but I'll put it like this so it goes on her
Shoulder.
rhomboid. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't have a compression or anything. That's my little homegrown country.
Yeah. So you are you're going to hit it hard here coming up with the Olympic year coming. What does that look like for next year? Next year is going to be a crazy year for you.
Yeah, next year we start on the 5th of January, and then we'll do indoors every weekend, with the Rushmore Rum Ball. We're going to come to Chula Vista for indoor nationals. Not sure about Nemes yet. Lancaster, Vegas, Easton here in Arizona, Easton in Hawaii. We'll ramp up for hopefully the USA Archery top 8.
Yeah, so he's made it to the second week in January. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing.
So it's a big year.
Yeah, my wife, when we hit January, she's always like, we need to figure out how to do less archery in January and February. There's not an option. I mean, it is like every weekend there is something going on that we have to be a part of, right?
Yes, that was us last year, but this year, being a teacher, kind of running out of days. So, and then Julia gets into truancy because of all the days we missed trying to hit USAT. So,
oh yeah, it's rough because we used to have October, November, December used to be our downtime. Look at all the indoor shoots. I mean, the Taipei Open just finished, and we decided not to go there because it's getting crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Berlin Open was this weekend too. So you can go to either Asia or Europe. And we like these big international shoots because that's where you make your money, and that's where the best in the world is. So you want to compete against the best in the world. Who knows?
Like it's with Nemes and was it Nemes, Lancaster, and Vegas? I mean, that's 3 weeks.
Yeah, but we do that a lot. And Nemes is such a phenomenal shoot. They put on there. The host people are phenomenal. The fans over there are so amazing.
I've heard
it's worth going. It's the Vegas of Europe.
Oh, really?
It is super cool. I mean, that's where you want to go. You want to make sure you schedule a time one of the years to go over there, and you'll be thanking me. I promise you.
It's on my bucket list.
Well, I think it's on mine now.
Yeah, you're not going to go wrong there.
Yeah.
So Julie stays in it long enough that I can make that trip.
Yeah, we've done the Lancaster, we've done the Vegas thing, and that's a long couple weeks of archery, but probably some of the most fun 2 weeks that you'll have.
Yeah.
Because even like we went from Lancaster to Vegas. We got there early. We went to the little archery shop there, and we're running into every pro that there is because they're all there early and they're in there practicing. And so it was kind of a cool experience. That's where I got to meet Braden Gillentine and became friends with Braden, or Braden.
Like, there you go again with names.
He got me screwed up with Brady and Brady. Whatever.
He's so bad with names.
I am really bad with names. So it was really a cool experience because you got to really get into the mix and get to know all these people and how they work, because they're not messing around. They show up. It is a business. They're not showing up just for fun. They're showing up to win. Yeah. And it was kind of cool to see how they, every day we were there, they were there.
Oh yeah, they're traveling that much, spending that much of their money for a living. You talk about trying to be professional. We're trying to be as professional as we can get. Mm-hmm. I mean, Korea has 39 professional teams. Let's try to get something going in the U.S. and make it there. And that's what I'm doing my best right now. That's one of my goals.
39 professional teams.
Teams, not archers, but teams.
Yeah, but if you look at it, Hyundai Mobis, the men are sponsored by Hyundai Steel. These are big companies that own these teams. They have archery teams and they have golf teams. So those two sports are so big there. It's a no joke over there.
Yeah, it really is different. When Ryan went to the World Championship, he's talking to some of the archers there, and ours is all self-funded, and theirs is not.
Yeah,
they're there to these kids. I mean, they're kids, and they're there to do one thing, is to win, and the country is supporting them to do it.
We spoke to a young archer recently. I think it was Matthew Parmenter that said that would be the way to increase and grow archery, is to have these, to have funding to get to all of the places instead of being self-funded.
Yeah. But one thing you got to realize, I have a lot of friends in Korea. I've been dealing with a lot of their athletes for quite a while. I mean, they sent some archers here to learn compound right off the bat, way back in the, when they first started. But Soche Wan is one of my good friends. She's on Honey Mobis team over there. But last year I was talking to her, and you got to realize these people that's their job. So she was able to go home for 24 hours. That's it. Otherwise,
Wow.
you're gonna miss birthdays. You're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
miss a lot of things. So you have to give up to be a professional. It's a lot different than what we do here, but they will treat you like professionals, and you're gonna be, in Korea, you are the LeBrons, the Kobe's, the Michael Jordans. You're all the top stars. You're the rock stars.
Yeah.
But you're gonna give up a lot to get to that level. But they're making a lot. They pay a lot, and they're treated like gods and goddesses over there.
Wow.
So with we've talked a lot about coaching and things like that, but what is it? We talk about that high level coaching that you're doing. What would be your recommendation for a coach that's just coming in, maybe even starting a small team? What kind of approach would you take in doing that? I mean, what would be some of the most important things that you would need to focus on when doing that? I know fun is one of them. He's mentioned fun.
Yeah.
He's mentioned fun more than he said anything else, which is really cool.
I've got a friend who I met last year in Vegas. She's in the Dallas area. She's running it, trying to do it like this. And she's got a lot of very young archers. But she's also educating herself too by asking questions, reaching out. She'll reach out to me, and I'm sure she talked to other coaches different ways. So it's like, you know what? If you're at events, watch what coaches are doing with their athletes at events. See what you like and see what you don't like, because you're going to get a lot of don't likes, I promise you. But you have to see what's working and what's going to get the best out of your archers, what's going to keep them having fun. Then when you're done, come back, because like all the young archers, your job as a coach will start when they leave. That's when all your work starts, because you have to figure out what you're going to do to make them happy, make them a better archer, make sure their skills increase, and make sure their parents are going to be happy by doing all this stuff. So you have a lot more to do. So just look out there, reach out to any coaches that will give you advice and help out, or reach out to me. I don't care. I'll take phone calls 24 hours a day. I take phone messages 24 hours a day, from around the world. So that's easy.
I think that's
but just learn from what you're seeing as another coach, but learn from other sports also.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Like what kind of sports?
Mine is like, I've watched some. I mean, if you watch like college basketball and college football, you'll see stuff that are people that are interacting with some of their athletes, and who's getting the most out of them and why they're getting the most out of them. No matter what age, you're still going to give them all the respect they deserve, no matter what, because everyone's still a human. So you have to look at all these different sports, and that'll help out some. But reach out to the archery community. We have a lot of great coaches here. I know anybody will be. I'd hope they would be willing to help out a new coach.
And I think that's important. The one thing I have learned is I'm not shy. I'll talk to anybody. I mean, I came right up to you and talked to you, and now I'm texting you back and forth. But I'm always amazed. It doesn't matter who it is. I saw a top archer at Lancaster, and the mom was over there. I just went over there and started talking to her on how they practice, who's the coach, all that stuff. And that's how I found Penny Heddletwit, and I would have never had any idea who she was. And that's how I got her. I got her number. I literally texted her that day and said, hey, I want to talk, and she called me right away. Like you said, a lot of the community is very open to just even a nobody like me, just texting them saying, hey, I would like to talk to you about mental management. And she called me right away. So it's really, that's what I love about this community is most everyone is willing to step in and help, no matter who it is.
And I like that. I think that's important. That's the only way the sport is going to continue to grow. I know in our area, we were so afraid that it was going to die out because of COVID. And, you had to have, you could limit everything. Everything had to be limited. So 6 foot distance. So it's every other lane. Then shops were, not feeling it. And then, but down here, it just boomed. since
it
then.
did.
It's like no one could do anything else but shoot. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but to continue that momentum, if coaches aren't willing to talk to each other and help them, then that's going to help grow the archers themselves. Then that's going to help grow the sport. And that's what we want. I mean, of course, we want hunters in and, getting bows and doing things like that, going and shooting
Yeah.
plates and balloons. But my family doesn't hunt with archery, but we compete. And to continue, she just wants to keep going and going. And the only way, just like you said, we've got another coach that's in here working with her right now. And if everyone didn't communicate and talk with each other, then that wouldn't happen. We'd just be stuck, and then she'd probably get,
Yeah.
I don't want to do it anymore. And there goes another archer.
Yep.
But
Well,
Yeah.
one other thing I was going to talk about, just mental management. I know that you had mentioned, like, we were trying to schedule this, and you were like, "Hey, I've got mental management training right now, and then we'll jump on a call." Tell me, just high level. We talked a little bit about mental management. Let's kind of close out. We'll close this podcast out on mental management because I think
Yeah.
that you had mentioned at the beginning probably the most important piece.
Yeah, and it is. And this gentleman that's here, he's from Hawaii, so we're just going over it. That's one of the things he's been really missing, and he's a senior shooter, recurve shooter, shooting phenomenal. But we can get him. We can take him over the top. He wants to shoot. He tells me this year he's going to shoot. I think he's 72, 73 maybe. I'm not sure. He's going to shoot. He wants to shoot 70 meters, not 60. So he's going to shoot with the
big boys.
He says
Wow.
he wants. At Utah last year, we were indoor nationals. He shot on Brady's target there. So he's like, I want to just shoot 70 meters. I want to shoot there. I want to try to make the USAT team. I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him everything I can. And we're just gonna try. People are gonna, say it's stupid. People can do whatever they want to. I don't care.
yeah,
I'm gonna give this guy. He's coming here from Hawaii. He comes in from Hawaii every other month. Spends 2 or 3 days. We're on a 3-day mental management, so it's pretty pricey, obviously. But we're getting a lot out of it. And we started early, and we're gonna start early tomorrow. And then we're gonna start early Wednesday, and we'll go long Wednesday. He'll go until my club comes in Wednesday afternoon or evening, and we're gonna go. Then I have Carson, who we've got. I know we've got to do a lot of tuning coming in, but in Thursday afternoon we will do afternoon mental management with her, just to make sure. We need to make sure it's like a refresher. Everyone needs a refresher.
oh yes.
It's always good, but and I call it a refresher, but it could be whatever you want to. But it's truly a refresher to make sure. I don't care if they hear me say it 1,000 times. I'm going to say it 1,001 times, 1,002 times, because that'll get the point across. And we're going to go, and our goal is to win.
And that you mentioned mental management. The one thing that I just heard was this is not me working with somebody or you working with somebody for an hour on mental management. It is a program that you go through, and it builds off of that, right?
Yeah, I started it as a long 1 day, and I realized I can give them more for the price. So we did that to a 2-day. It's technically a 2-day now, but it's 10 hours a day.
Yeah, it's
And
intense.
that's
Yeah.
I've incorporated a lot of practical. So we're walking straight from where I'm at right now. Literally, if I go 6 feet left, we're on a shooting lane outside. We're gonna shoot. We're gonna go back and forth. We're gonna learn exactly. And even if you know it, we're gonna do it again and again until we can get it, duplicating it. Because mental management, that's the only thing that you have that's constant is your mental game. That is the only thing. Because people say, "Oh yeah, I can do it indoors or outdoors." Well, outdoors, Mother Nature comes into effect.
That's right.
There's a lot differently, but you can still run your same program as you are indoors when you might just have to worry about the air conditioning or the heater coming on. So mental management is such a good program. I mean, I use it in golf. Obviously, a lot of golfers are using it, but it is so good with golf. The same way it is with archery. Once you learn that, you'll realize why. Most people are winning. If you look at any sport, we're going to take archery. That 1 through 5% of the people that are winning are all the same people. We pretty much the same names, the same classes. Then you've got 6 through 10. 6 through 10 is they're okay. They're running the same equipment and they're training the same amount as 1 through 5, but they're not winning. They may make a podium maybe once. Then you've got 11 through 100. who want to win. They're going to tell you they're going to win. They don't know what they're doing. So we're gonna help them guys get up to maybe 6 through 10. So the 6 through 10, who's training the same amount as all the top guys, who's got the same equipment, the same arrow, the same tab, same everything, but they're not winning. Why? It's because they're thinking differently. They're not thinking properly. They're not running a mental program. So once you run that mental program, then things could change. A light could go on, but it's not a switch. You can't learn it in an hour. Sometimes it takes, to truly run it, you're going to have to change. You're going to want to change. And then that could take time.
Yeah,
but it'll be well worth it, because I don't know anybody who has complained about mental management program.
Yeah, I do believe that's the difference. That is the difference between the winners and the losers, right? And
right.
Who's gonna? I mean, it really
the people
comes
that
down
are
to,
learning a lot.
yeah. The ones that are learning the being students of the game, and part of that is the mental management.
Yep, and that's the difference between people saying, "Well, I wish I could win," compared to my people. It's like me to win.
Yep,
that's the difference.
It's like me to win. That's I've heard Ryan say that several times, and I know where that comes from.
You got to protect yourself at all times, 24 hours a day, and that's protecting your self-image right there.
Yep. Well, Mel, great podcast.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining, and I know that you said you have archers in there shooting. I know you're busy. We really appreciate you jumping on this call with us.
It's only 6 o'clock, so we have another couple hours of shooting right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're going to go till 10 tonight.
Yeah, you're welcome. We gave you a little break.
No, I think you just made sure my 10 o'clock stopped. That means I've got to work till about 1 or 2. Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's a deer hunt and a hog hunt.
I'm sorry, Mel. I appreciate you.
No, we're good. We're done for the day. Actually, before I walk in the house, I have a golf green and pitching green between here and the house. I'm going to pitch about 10 or 15 balls, get my stroke going, then I'm going to go in the house.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Do that every day.
Well, again, Mel, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And we will catch you at the next target.
And
all right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. And that is
Alrighty.
it for this episode of Raising an Archer.